and then we will start recording. I usually don't record when this little thing is, but we'll just bypass it because the recording.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 7 o'clock on the dot, Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, everyone, to our Superior Speakers Advanced Online Club. We are the Toastmasters Club, and the mission of our club is to create a supportive and positive learning environment where members like you, like me, can develop their communication and leadership skills. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lois Margolin. Toastmaster
And
Lois.
we're going to start with our invocation.
Oh, that's right. I jumped the gun.
That's okay. That's sometimes why we have these slides, just to remind us what we're supposed to do, and it's great. I am the president of this club. I don't want to talk about me. The invocation and excitement is we have 2 brand new members. I am absolutely stoked. We also do a flyers for them. I want to let you know exactly what we do for our members. Meet Hyvell Ferguson Davis, a new member for Superior Speakers. Her favorite power words that describe her is conquer, resilience, and sisterhood. That's the way you spell it today. And her favorite quote was, "The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. But do good anyway." Mother Teresa. We have another member, and we highlight them every week. We have Sherman Martin. It's Sherman Stevens. I don't know why I put Martin. Please forgive me. It's Stevens. I was rushing with a little glitch we had, but he is possible, hopeful, and encouraged. His favorite quote is a combination. All things are possible. Do what you can do now before it's late, and always speak hope. And yes, it is Sherman Stevens, brand new member of Superior Speakers, and we're so proud to have him. Right now, it's my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, Lois Margolin. Now, she's Distinguished Toastmaster and the past district director. We're so proud to have her a member of our club. Welcome, Lois.
Thank you so very much, Madam President. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am thrilled to be here with you today. We are embarking on a journey that's all about professionalism, expanding your toolkit, and becoming that professional speaker that allows you to speak from the heart. And I'm so touched by so many of the topics that I see in the chat. Whether you're just starting your professional speaking career or looking to take it to the next level, this is the place to be. Walt Disney said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. This emphasizes the importance of action and practice. Are you as excited as I am? Thumbs up? Yes, let's get started. All right. As you are getting booked as a presenter, what promotional items are you providing to the meeting planner? How do you craft a professional biography and your speaker introduction? How are these different, as each are vital to your success and to that of the event? In support of Superior Speakers Advanced, SSA, aligning with the Accredited Speaker, the AS program for professional presenters, this is a special workshop providing how-tos and mentoring in our journey. Both your speaker biography and introduction are vital pieces in your speaker marketing materials. And yes, you will have more than one set. They are different and each has its own purpose. Get ready to discover the specifics needed in each piece and how to craft your materials that will get you noticed and hired. Facilitating us through today's workshop is top-rated international trainer and keynote presenter and the CEO of Sparkle Presentations based in New York. Sheryl Roush has been a member of Toastmasters since 1987 and has received the highest awards for both leadership and communication. She is also an award-winning 17 times published author. In 1993, she earned Toastmasters Elite Accredited Speaker designation. which was judged on proving 6 various presentation styles. Since 1981, out of 146 countries, only 95 have earned the credential. Sheryl became the 28th. She is yet the youngest female. With our Market Like a Pro session on how to craft your speaker bio and introduction, let's welcome Sheryl Roush.
Wow. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for stepping up to your business and how you can craft your speaker biography, your written marketing materials, and your speaker introduction to help get noticed, get hired, get referred. Boy, let's make it happen. Thank you very much. For many of you did do the pre-session work. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're like me, just coming back from the convention, hopefully not with COVID like I did, then thank you for all the energy that you brought. All right, so let's get started. Watch the chat, by the way, because Tiffany is going to be lighting up the chat with information and with samples for you. So if you're wondering how all of this got started, when I joined Toastmasters, then it would be March 1987. Yes, if you're doing the math, it's 38 years. Well, I started studying, well, how can we have dynamic speaker introductions? Because at that time, there was very little that was provided to us in the Toastmasters International, the handbooks, we had handbooks, and all of the programs that we did back then. So I started developing something, but you're welcome to use TI's official speaker introduction form, especially if you need to introduce someone or the Toastmaster all of a sudden isn't there, or for whatever reason. What I'm going to introduce to you tonight, though, are strategies and formulas that I think really grab people's attention. And we'll take a look at what are the differences between a bio and a speaker introduction. So if you didn't get a chance to download the handout, which went out with the email, then please download the handout from the chat at this time. So if you get a chance, then you can print it out and really use the template and the format. All right, so then I thought, and I love doing this as a speaker, I always think, if I were you attending a session and that I wanted this value, what would make sense to me? Well, first of all, I need to know the difference between a bio, which is short for biography, and a speaker introduction. Would you agree with that? Yeah, because most often we think they're the same thing. No. All right. So let me break this down for you. And here are my definitions. So, first of all, the biography is a noun. Literally, it means an account of someone's life written by someone else. So that already means it's not first account, second account, it's third person. All right. So then it's a short biographical profile of someone, meaning you. Then the question comes up, well, how much about my life, my story, can I put into this? The answer is going to be not much. All right. So what are synonym and similar words to what a biography would be? Because I searched even further. Well, an autobiography or a history or the story, a profile, it's a chronicle, maybe a character sketch or a life. Something to keep in mind straight away on this is that a speaker introduction ideally is 1 minute or less, or maybe a few seconds longer. So the goal is 1 minute when read out loud with proper pacing, emphasis, punctuation, all of that is done in a script. Whew. All right. So you ready to start taking a pen to what you've done? And it could be, it could be, because those are the samples that I previewed, is that the samples for the biography could easily morph into a speaker introduction, but they needed a few additional things, and then less biography if it didn't relate to the ideal audience who that presentation is for. So let's talk about that. Speaker introduction grabs attention. We're talking in the first 7 seconds, definitely within the first 15 seconds, it's got to grab the attention. It needs to be almost a pattern interrupt, a disruption to whatever it was, whatever they were checking on their phones. I'm just going to say that's what they need to do. All right, so then a speaker introduction in the minds of our listeners, in the audience, whether it be virtual, hybrid, or in person, it answers the what's in it for me, which are the benefits of attending, Why are you the particular speaker? Do you have subject matter expertise on this? Do you have experience in this particular topic area? And the why now, as in the topic. Why now for this particular topic? Why is it imperative? So all of these, we grab the attention, we answer those questions, and then we do a setup. There's more. So we need to, in the speaker introduction, before we even say our first words, we need to provide what are the benefits to them for listening and or deciding to be engaged with us. What are those expectations and the objectives? In training, in adult learning theory, it's called signposting. Tell us what you're going to tell us, then tell us what you told us. A speaker's introduction can do the same thing as what the content does for the entire presentation. And finally, it sets the tone for the message. Based on what you include from your biographical information, then that can be tied into the speaker introduction and really create instant rapport with your listeners, even before you have said anything. So let's take a closer look. In the handout that was provided, as well as this is a template that was emailed out as soon as you registered, then let's take a look at this. So over at least 30, at least over 37 years, then this is what I have developed for a formula or format that I find works. So it starts off with asking one or three. That's the magic in this. And everything that I do, I help people speak and market like a pro. And why that is my umbrella is because they are perfect parallels to each other. Follow me on this. Based on what this type of format is, this also works across the board with marketing as it does with speaking as well. Ooh, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I thought so. All right, so then ask one or three questions to establish your rapport and to set the stage for your topic to get early buy-in or invoke the response that you want. So here it is, perfect parallel again between speaking and marketing. Name their pain. What are their pains, the challenges, the issues, the opportunities for transformation? Name their pain and hand it back to them in the form of a question. This is great for speaker introductions, just like what you heard when Lois was introducing this session tonight. You'll see a couple of examples of that. And then, so for instance, giving a presentation and don't know where to begin, chances are people would say yes. You know, public speaking will bring you business, but it's still scary? Question mark, yes. So then this was done, and matter of fact, this comes from in the bottom right-hand corner, a copy of the actual manual that I created for Toastmasters, which has been sold at Toastmaster International Conventions. It's a 48-page workbook. Email me. I'm not doing anything with it tonight. Email me if you're interested in getting a copy of that as a PDF form. But what I'm doing is I took this page and the next format from this manual. So it means that it was copyrighted in 2015. So notice that this has two questions on it. Now I would say either one big, huge loaded question or three is what I would suggest these days, and the same for marketing. So after you grab their attention, this is the pattern interrupt with the questions, then you go into the setup. So now this is where we enlighten our listeners of what they can expect. And again, odd numbers here, 3, 5, or 7. I'm a fan of 3. I would say no more than 5. However, 7 could be appropriate in marketing materials if they are split up with a subhead between two groupings of. Otherwise, 7 is a bit lengthy. So in this engaging session, you will what? And that then they know, that's what we're going to be doing. Got it. And then how can they relate to you? Everything needs to be relevant. They need to get that you're like them. So what we can't be is a speaker up on a high pedestal where we're not reachable. We want to be, we want to have a conversation. It's having the dialogue where the connection happens, that the transformation can occur. So we are hired because we're problem solvers and we bring potential solutions to them. That's why we get paid. And the better the problems that we solve, the more that we get paid. By the way, that's a whole nother course, but that gives you some ideas. So how can they relate to us? Why us as a speaker? What is your credibility? Are you real? Are you one of us? What makes you an authority? What do we have in common? What's your background? What have you done recently that relates to this topic or program? So right here, big note, you will have more than one of these bios, more than one of these speaker introductions. Based on, you probably ought to have at least one per topic that you present upon, and maybe even different things. So if you have different audiences, that message needs to be tweaked. Everything is about matching the message to that particular audience. What are you delivering? Who are they? If they are real estate agents, they're going to be different than perhaps another type of industry, as an example for that. And then if there's anything that you can remove from that bio chunk that doesn't relate to exactly this audience, this topic, this presentation now, remove it. You can always add it back in, just remove it. All right. Then another question perhaps could be bring it back to them again, circle it back, and then showing us. So I like to add some conversation right there, like showing us or sharing with us tonight or whatever that it might be for that, whatever your conversation is. Then the subtitle, again, setting them up, it's building. If you can sense it, it's building. You're naming a question. You're saying what they're going to be able to discover. And you're telling a little bit of story right there and why this topic, why now. Now you're bringing them into the conversation even more. How to craft a presentation in 30 minutes or less. And then you can say with our topic tonight of, and then actually say the title of the program, public speaking tips for the non-professional speaker. Please welcome the CEO of Sparkle Presentations, Sheryl Roush, blah, 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 blah. All right. So that's a basic template. And looking at this now, I think there's too much about me in it. So there you go. Again, that was like from 2015, because at that time there were, yes. So anyway, so we need to update our information too. Keep it current. All right. So then the worksheet that was also included then, again, these are the questions in larger print there of, and you can use these to create any type of formula. But this is what I suggest, because I've not only used it for myself, but introducing like CEO and general managers of Intuit software, of oh, oh gosh, let's see, they're no longer Symantec, so Norton Utilities, and introducing them and from people from IBM, and they go, oh my gosh, when the guest speaker comes up to give their keynote, they're going, oh, you should give my whole speech. You're on to something, even though it's quite humbling. It's kind of like, okay, our job when we introduce somebody else is to set the stage for them. Period. That's our job. It's not about us. It's about them. All right, so let's take a look at some of the samples before and after. I thank you very much for those of you who did submit some things. Thank you. So Christine Campbell, bless your heart, you are our hardworking president. So Christine had submit this, and thank you for letting me share some of your story here, Christine. And I love this. And here's what I love about this. And we're going to be learning lovingly from each of these samples that we get to see in this particular presentation. So Christine Campbell's wears many hats. If you know her, this is true. All right. So right there, we would need to take a look at, well, which hat are you wearing tonight, darling? So for instance, you were all of these things, you were highly accomplished. And then in our emails going back and forth, and I said, who is the audience for this biography or this introduction? She went, oh, all right. So then that's the mentality that we want to have. Yes, we each wear many hats. Which hat are we wearing for this topic, for this audience, for this presentation? So thank you for that wonderful image, Christine, of which hat. And I love this, this is where you can bring in personality when it's appropriate. Christine is happily married to John, her best friend and soulmate, blah, 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 blah. And she has great stories to tell. All right, Lady Amanda, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So on the left, this is what we started with. And, it's beautifully done. Here's what I did with it. So again, you had an option of emailing things in as in email, or if it was going to be in a Word document, and what I could use with that. So thank you for this. All right. So here's what I would tweak on this. I would ask again, starting with a profound question that relates to your particular topic and what they're going to be gaining from your presentation. All right, Amanda. So there you go. So then I love this. It's a sign of reverence, I think. When a person says, "It is my honor to introduce a remarkable woman," da 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 da. I love that. And then it goes into her story. Okay, don't tell us all of the story. Tell us enough to get us to pay attention. Dedicated motivational speaker, co-author of 3 impactful books, unwavering commitment. All right, so then here's the difference between a bio and an introduction. The bio is dominantly about the speaker. The introduction is dominantly about our audience. Mic drop. There it is. So then most of us need to take out some of our story, save it for the speech, by the way, because we're amazing storytellers, and instead put in things which are relevant to them. What is the audience going to learn? What are the takeaways? What are the benefits? How is this going to transform my life? Because they're still deciding within the first 2 minutes, now 3 minutes, how long are they going to listen to us? They are. They're going, okay, can I check my email now? So we want to grab their attention and keep it. The introduction is a teaser of, oh, this is what you may have in common with that particular speaker. So then the speaker's introduction always needs to have, what is the title of the presentation? Big difference between a bio and an intro. What's the title of the presentation? What are we going to be gaining from that? So those are a couple suggestions that I would make here. So here we go with Tiffany. Thank you, a member of Superior Speakers. All right. So then, and thank you very much for following the format on this, starting with 3 questions, which is ideal up here at the top. And then naming the pain in those particular questions. And then she goes into, I think I took out a line right here because there was some more filler right there. And I thought, ooh, just get right into it. So learn how to replace labels with curiosity. So here's a little bit of setup. Now, start noticing what I did in these tweaks because I did line returns of this supports the speaker who is reading your script. I often put in line returns to create a pause, a natural place for them to breathe without actually putting breathe here, in the script, and line returns to break that up a little bit. Same thing here. Learn how to get creative, find the. So all of these are with their own line. Then a little line space between. And when you provide your speaker introduction, ideally, if you can use a font such as Times New Roman, because serif fonts, the ones with the little hooks, the little feet, the little doohickeys, they're what's the other name for angel? But basically they are the word escapes me, but they're little hooks that hook our eye when we're looking at the particular font. So for instance, our sans serif block letters such as Arial or Calibri or even Myriad Pro, that sans serif block letters read slower and less accurately according to the International Typeface Corporation. I love types. Type styles are my friend. They all have personalities and they all have a purpose. So consider when you provide your script provided in Times New Roman. For instance, I think, Tiffany, are we putting the script that Lois read tonight into the chat box? Thank you, because we'll see that was done in this particular format that I'm suggesting with the line returns and that it is in English Times. And I think it is probably in about a 14 point and it's regular spacing only because it was a short introduction, but otherwise you could do an increased line spacing. It's called leading between baseline to baseline so that there's more space that it helps the reader's eye move along with it. And then I always use bullet points for what are the takeaways, because then those can easily be aligned up onto the slide, which you saw for tonight. So then for years, blah, 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 our speaker has done this. And I love this. So here's her credibility right before the name of her presentation. which it just didn't get into this one. All right. So we had three options, Tiffany, if I remember correctly. You had three options of the title of a particular presentation. So it gives you credibility. And again, here's a little teaser. We want to be careful how many teasers we do like this. Watch for her TEDx talk, kind of thing. But you have a lot of fans, Tiffany. So I included that. All right. So then with her message, and that would be the exact title, let's welcome, and always the speaker's name last. It may be mentioned earlier in the speaker introduction, but maybe not the full name. Maybe the first name, or if it is protocol, Mr. or Ms. or Mrs., as in Dr. Sherman Stevens. So welcome. We congratulate you on becoming a brand new member of Superior Speakers Advanced. So welcome, welcome. All right. So you have a fascinating background, sir. And I love looking at this, and I already replied to you with this of what I would modify for your bio. Now, the main thing about the edits here and why you see all the dashed lines is because I modified from first person where he was telling his own story into third person as if someone else were telling his story or speaking about him with reverence. This is the type of writing that we want to do for both our biography. Nothing about I, me, my, any of that. Everything about you as that person, as if a journalist had written it. So I've sent that back to you, and you have quite an outstanding resume. So welcome, welcome. All right. So Vela, wow. Vela submitted this. It required no edits. No edits whatsoever. Oh my gosh. So this bio is wonderfully written. I don't know if well, I'm going to say you wrote it yourself, lady. So I'm going to say really, really well done. At the bottom of her bio is included more of her information, her social media handles, all of that, more information. I love how well that you did this. So I included that up here for you. So Vela, yay, A+ on the homework assignment. All right, Joe Gronin. Okay, first of all, my fellow accredited speaker. Let's go here, Joe, and I'm going to, where are you, Joe? I'm going to find you in my gallery here, and I'm going to have you unmute. I'm going to ask you to unmute. And I'm going to add a spotlight. There we go, Joe. All right. All right, my fellow accredited speaker, one of only 16 Canadians who have earned the accredited speaker designation. All right, so Joe, you recently used this bio when you were presenting in Beijing. Would you please talk to us about this? And specifically because in another country, how did they use your biography, may I ask? And was it translated into Mandarin or Cantonese? Tell us about that experience.
Well, actually, the school, and thank you, Cheryl, for inviting me to speak. The school in Beijing was an international academy, and they're all English-speaking teachers. They actually operate out of our New Brunswick curriculum. So I knew that I could use my bio or introduction, and they used this to promote my presentation to the teachers. And then I tried to use a separate introduction and bio together. Now here's what I need to learn is the true difference between an introduction and a bio.
There
And
you go.
you've covered a lot of those points.
Joe, since you are a retired educator yourself, what did you hear that you would then modify? Because you could take this bio and then shift it into a speaker introduction. What would you do?
Well, just like you said, the bio is about the speaker. And what I struggle with is talking about myself. So I really don't want to go over the top on, look, this is me. And I know it's important. I need to learn this lesson, that they need to know what my credibility is as a speaker. I have no problem in letting it be all about them, but I don't quite know how to put it on paper. So that difference between a bio and an introduction is, and this is why I'm here today, because I heard you're the best in the world for this. So here you go. Here you go, my dear friend. I struggle trying to put it in words, the difference between the bio. And now I'm getting a really good idea of, it's not boasting myself, it's showing why I'm the speaker and what my credibility is. So I need to free up that a little more, because as you were speaking just now, I thought, well, I could have put this in my bio. I could have put this in my bio. I could have put this in my bio. And now I'm starting to see the difference, because even when you emailed me back, you said a lot of this is good for an introduction. And then I thought, okay, now I have to figure out how to do that.
All right, so let's do that. Joe, you want to play?
Sure.
All right. Based on this, what is the title of the presentation that you gave for them? What is the exact title of the presentation?
Living in harmony with our children.
Okay. What are 3 things that I'm going to learn as a result of listening to this? And how long is this presentation? I'm guessing an hour-ish.
That was actually 3 hours.
Okay, so give me 5 bullets. What am I going to learn in 3 hours with you?
Well, the 3 major points is how we can truly listen to our students, and what is involved. It sounds simple, but what's involved listening to understand.
There's your first bullet point.
Yeah.
So then
The second-
in this session, you will learn how to listen, There's
Okay.
one. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And the second bullet is how to understand not only how they learn, but understand the world. So understanding is that second bullet, and how to create that rapport through understanding, which leads to compassion, which leads to wanting to help. So that's the second one.
Number 3.
Number 3 is to value our children with the words that we speak. What words do we want them to remember, positive or negative, and how we can make sure it's a positive experience for our students, whether it's positive or negative.
Okay, give me another one.
I think the other one is not only how to learn to live in harmony with our children, but also to learn how to live in harmony with ourselves, because we're modeling the behavior. So the 4th one really hits home with them. Are you taking care of yourself? It's a wellness present. And are you modeling what you want your children? It's not all talk, it's modeling. That would be a 4th.
Okay, got it. All right, so then based on this, what one question could you lead with for a speaker introduction that names one of those pains and gently, lovingly hands it back to them in the form of a question?
Have you ever asked a child, what were you thinking? How do we answer that call as to figuring out what were you thinking? Because that becomes a positive connotation instead of a negative. And when I
Okay.
introduce it, so that would be, have you ever asked a child, what were you thinking? And that would be a lead in. Now that I'm talking to you, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to throw this all out and start over again.
Well, you're not throwing it out though. You're adding to it because you have this piece that works. Now it needs the rest of the format.
Yeah.
So a question that names a pain, handing it back to them in the form of that question, and then some soft into that. You know, what are they going to do? More about them, as an educator, you know, it's a heart-centered mission for anyone who is an educator. And you feel free to use the words, and this is being recorded, so you can definitely grab this, because Joe, how you market this presentation will also have this new added text. Which means, I mean, you're already busy as a paid presenter. You could, and I've been telling you, you could raise your fees there, buddy. But anyway, you love what you do, and this is really your purpose, you know. So I totally get that. Then at the end, so following the format, like what you have in the handout, then toward the end, you do another little setup, and you say, in this message on like a subtitle, maybe the subtitle to your book, because I get that they are in alignment, and his presentation for us living in harmony with our children, let's welcome accredited speaker Joe Grondin, because that's also in your marketing, is Joe Grondin accredited speaker. So it's not scrap it, it's a tweak it. And you're a dancer, pivot.
Well, then it's interesting because when you sort of open the door to the question format, and one of the things that I do ask the teachers, whoever I'm in front of, I said, how would you like children to transfer from "why should I listen to you" to "I want to walk across water for you"? And how do we create that rapport to make the transition from "why do I listen to you" to "I want to walk water across for you"? I want to
There you
walk
go.
across water for you. So that,
And those are what you give. Those are your bullet points.
yeah.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Then, wow. And I sure hope that that's part of the conclusion to that 3-hour message. So there you go. Joe, thanks for working this through. Thank you. Really well done. Good to have you. Good to have you. Okay. And feel free to send me. I want to see this pivot. Okay. Got it. All right. Everybody learn from that. Let me look at the gallery here. Give me some thumbs up for Joe. Thumbs up for Joe. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, got it. All right. Well, this is workshop. So yippee-ki-yay. All right, let's take a, all right. Thank you very much, Joe. All right. All right, Tanya, thank you very much. So Tanya and I went back and forth. Tanya, where are you? Where are you? Let's see, where are you? Tanya, I'm going to find you in the gallery. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to add a spotlight. I'm going to up to wherever you went. Oh, now I lost you. Okay. Are you still there? Hold on. Michael, I see you. Got it. Where'd you go? Okay, thank you. I see you. All right, thanks. All right. So Tonya, tell me, how was this process for you? Because we went back and forth. And I like what you did. So there's some things that let me walk you through, and then you can decide how you're going to handle this. All right. So this is interesting because Tonya actually asked 3 questions broken up in some text. So this is a little twist on the format. Has this ever happened to you? Question mark. You have a conversation. So now you've got a scenario that you have to think about. You have a conversation hours later, you think, oh, no, I know what I should have said. All right. Second question, is there someone you avoid having a conversation with because no, question number 3, do you dread giving that toast to the question mark? All right. So here's what we want to do, Tanya, on this. And thanks that we could all learn from this. Our speaker knows your pain. Don't say who you are yet. It's too early. We still need to have more about them. More about them. So our speaker knows your pain. And you could even take this out. You could even take this out. It could be get ready to learn, it could be a different thing instead. Well, it's not bad. I didn't take the whole thing out. I only removed your name. So there you go. In this engaging presentation today, you will discover the three secrets to speaking up. May your other introducers do better. All right. So then you will leave with, and there's your 3 bonus points. Great. Which could go on to a slide. I removed a chunk of the bio from here because in my opinion, walking through, it didn't relate enough. It was great information. And that's what I see. I loved reading all of your bios, by the way. It's like, oh, wow, I want to get to know you better. However, the audience is already, okay, come on, we're ready, time to go. All right, so then I removed more of the bio, and then I thought this was important to this topic based on how to speak up. It's even for introverts. I thought your video course, that was pertinent. It was directly related. And then with your topic to bring that in. All right, so feedback, go ahead from you.
So this doesn't give anything that makes me relatable. And I think that was one of the things that you wanted from people.
Well, and there was just a big chunk of it. So
Okay.
find 2 to 3 sentences that you can keep in that lengthy area. Just make it shorter. Yeah, I mean, you're very personable, and you're very fun and founder of the Joy Lab. Okay. So what people are thinking is, oh, you're the founder of the Joy Lab. I want that now. Get with it, lady.
Okay.
Sorry. They're there. Okay. So just less bio. I think you're good with that. All
Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right. Okay. All right. Marianne Devine. All right. And I saw you come into the chat here. All right. So let me locate you. So how is this? Everybody getting to know everybody else? Yes. Yes. All right. Marianne, go ahead and unmute if you would there. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Hi, hello. How are you?
I'm doing just wonderful this evening.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sending me your homework on this. And thank you for following the format. You did really well with that. So here I'm going to take a look at how can we tweak this part of it, just a little, not the whole thing, but just this part of it to help you because you are highly credentialed in what you do. My goodness. All right. So then the expectations. All right. So learn up at the top. It's kind of like things get lost. If I'm the introducer, I'm getting lost a little bit, maybe because of font or because it doesn't have, some additional bullet points. So here's what I did to update the format. The tick marks, which could also translate onto a slide, as you see that they come up with the animations that now I'm looking at this list. It's like, okay, I'm going to learn this and this and this. And you could even trim that down. So here we have 6. How long is this presentation?
Maybe to start 20 minutes. I could maybe go longer. 20 minutes to start, I think.
Okay, so let's trim that down to 3 bullet points.
Okay.
Okay, and you can decide which ones. For me, you have the artistic skills and you have all the technology background and everything. I may or may not, unless I'm in that audience, I may or may not be interested in designing simple purses or clothing that uniquely defines you. But I'll tell you what, Marianne, I buy them. I look for what I do.
Yes,
I do.
It's
It's called wearable art, and I have a stunning piece from Morocco. So it's like, and I get so many compliments on it. So anyway, depending on who your audience is, you can pick and choose, all of us, you can pick and choose which bullet points. And again, Joe with a 3-hour presentation, 5 bullets is appropriate. For a 20-minute, 3 bullets are appropriate. All right, then I like this part. You may be more creative than you think. I need a tease in, I need a walk in. So I would add something like discover how to. So up here, you had how to, right? So then eliminate, this is something for all of us, eliminate the extra how to and jump in with parallel structure of the verb. Embrace, let go, network, find, any of what those are. So those are just tweaks. Again, 20-minute, 3 bullet points. Give us some more bullet points on that. You good? Yeah.
No, I'm excellent. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I was very appreciative of your help. Thank you.
You did great, and thanks for doing the homework. All right, so then let's go over to Dr. J, all the way from India. Namaste, my friend. All right, so let me find you.
Yeah.
I'm looking for you.
Yes, I'm here, Sheryl.
Yes, you are. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste, sir. And thank you. You've attended our sessions before. So welcome back to have you again. All right. So thank you for this. So here's what I did for yours. And I believe I already emailed you straight away.
Yes.
All right. So then here's something, and I think I may, when I do this format in the future, is that I'll put right up at the top, who is the target audience for all of us? Because I think that really helps to hone in. And there is another page inside of the handout that we're going to get to too, that helps to really drive this home. So helping me help you, Dr. J, is with the target audience, who is it for? Aha, because then the questions will make sense. So for instance, you have 3 questions. Well done. The question here about the third one, do you want to raise funding for your business through storytelling? People may not yet know the power of storytelling and their origin story regarding promoting their business. So let's not confuse them, because if they have to stop to think, they have stopped. I believe in
Thank you.
India, you call it a full stop. So I believe that that would be a full stop mentally for them. So then the setup, let's add in this session, you will learn. So here's a question for you then, Dr. J, because you have power habits that will double your productivity. We also have Shamila Williams here from Aruba that is a productivity expert. So I'm going to ask you, how many power habits will you be teaching me? How many?
10 power habits.
10. Oh my gosh. That's fabulous. All right. So worth my money. How long is this presentation, sir? How long is this presentation?
Yeah, it is 3 hours. 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah. All right. You and Joe. Okay. All right. So 10 power habits in 3 hours. This is good. And not postponing. This is good. All right. So the part that I would like to see you rewrite is the section about the I relate. So as an example, and as I have mentioned, to remove the I, me, my, any of that conversation and write it in third person, because then it will give even more credibility for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Oh,
you.
good. You are so very welcome. Very welcome. Good to have you. All right. Thank you. Well done. All right. So Shamila, speaking of, how funny. I didn't even know that the two of you were in order. All right. Shamila, all the way from Aruba, District 81 in the Caribbean. Let me find you, sweetheart. There you are. All right. Please unmute. All right. So Shamila and I have been working on and off for, I don't know how many years. All right. And you're so coachable. Thank you. All right. So then she's got her 3 questions up here. Okay, question in this. So you followed the format wonderfully here. And then she added a little bit more. Here's planting a seed, but it's not too much. This is really well done. Whether you're coaching one-on-one, group coaching, or facilitate during a seminar for 20 to 600 for a day, you will learn. So it's kind of like, okay, so this tells me, without telling me, that's part of your expertise. Really well done on that. Then you will learn proven techniques. So proven is a word that is fabulous in marketing, especially when it's true. All right. So proven techniques. All right. Then 5 bullet points. So well done with that. Here's one paragraph, Shamila, that I would remove because it goes into story. I would save this for the speech. Most of us can validate the amount of coffee. I don't need it, right? I don't need it. So then goes back to your credibility. Say after coaching thousands of people, blah, blah, blah. And I would remove from this section because in the longer version, Shamila talks more about her speaks calculator and it's remarkable what it is. However, it's not been explained yet and it's been introduced here. So that's why I would remove it from there. Shamila, any comments, feedback on this?
Thank you for having me here today. As soon as you mailed this to me, I decided to send it to a client that I had yesterday. And within 10 minutes, she sent me back, yes, you have an appointment. We need to talk with each other.
You're getting hired. You're getting hired from this. Oh, I love it. Shamila, I'm very happy for you. Hello, superior speakers. This is why we do this. Woohoo! All right, good. Thank you so very much, Shamila. Good to have you here today too. All right, there you go. That's how it works. All right, Gina. Gina, I know you're here. Let me find Gina. There you are. Thank you for waving. Okay, got it. I love it. All right, so Shamila. Oh, sorry. All right, Gina. There we go. All right. So then this is interesting, and I'll show a part of this. So then the questions, and then for this one, I also did some formatting for you on it, Gina, so that it's going to be easier for the speaker introducer as they read it for you. All right, so I like the questions. Questions nailed it. Today, we're going to dive into all of this and more. By the end of the session, you will. Boom, boom, boom. So what I did, even though you had it correct as unshakable, as properly written, for the introducer, it may not register. So this is where we start giving prompts for the person who will be introducing us as well. So what I'd like to see you do is to rewrite this portion as if someone else were introducing you, because it's so funny. This is a first. Thank you. This is a first. She shifted from as if somebody else were reading the first part into now what you might be wondering why, Gina, well, and then she's talking about herself. So anyway, this may absolutely have some fun applications to it. It was not what I had anticipated for tonight, but I got the giggles. So thank you very much for that. So let's make that less information there. And again, relevant. You've got the title of your present down, right? Only it's in, that's why I created, ... So remove you as if somebody else is talking about you. So good fun on that. Good fun. All right. Thank you. Okay, let's see. All right. Michael Pope. Let me find
Here.
you. I know, I'm getting to you in my gallery. Hold on. Where'd you go?
I'm here. Can you see me?
No, not yet. Hold on. Let me go to different view for gallery. Yes, thank you. Okay. You like stopped waving. Okay. Okay, got it. All right. So Michael, let's see. All right. So you had submitted something for another talk originally. And then, all right, so we're going to go with that for a second. Okay. So Michael is highly credentialed. He's also very humble in how he presents his message. So I acknowledge you for that, Michael. Thank you. All right. So then now let's go here for a second, because when we are Toastmasters, we love to talk about our Toastmaster accomplishments. My reflection to each of us is that is the audience that this presentation, this introduction, this bio is for, are they Toastmasters? Yes or no? If yes, go ahead and include Toastmaster stuff. If no, remove a bunch of it, because then it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't relate to them. Unless your talk is about Toastmasters to non-Toastmasters, then it would probably relate. And it better be loaded with benefits. So keep in mind, who is your audience? Do they know what Toastmasters is? Do they know what a DTM is, Distinguished Toastmaster? Do they care? They may, if you are talking about leadership, because it is a leadership credential. All right, so that's food for thought there. All right, so then this is what Michael had originally sent. And the title of his presentation is How to Be a Doer of Public Speaking. He's quite good at what he does. I know I'm talking about you as if you're not here, but you are. All right. So then imagine a world where your message not only reaches, but resonates with your audience. So Michael, you could take either of these segments, have a profound question up at the top. You really could. Can you imagine a world? Or you could even change this out of question format and say, imagine, if you will, a world where ... And that could even be the opening to the presentation. So this is from something else. This is what then he sent as far as like your bio, or sorry, as your speaker introduction. One great question up at the top. Are you ready to break through the barriers holding you back and unlock your true potential? You're going to get a resounding positive response. Okay. In this, and I love this because it's true for you, Michael, transformative. Your sessions are absolutely transformative. So then you will uncover, this is great because it's about me. Who will uncover? Me. I will uncover. This is great. So whether managing, then you give me examples of how does it relate? All right. So this is worth an A+ on the homework here, because you're giving me ways in which this can be implemented, how it can apply. You're planting a seed. So whether you're managing a project, focusing on self-improvement, you're giving me those options. Great bullet points here. And then you might be surprised. So this is where you bring in your personality. I love it. You might be surprised to learn today he's a highly sought after speaker, blah, blah, blah. So it builds your credential. Then another soft question. So again,
is it okay? So Sheryl, is it okay for me to use my name here? Or should I?
I think so, because you're already past the bullet points.
Okay.
I do. If it were higher than the bullet points in this transformative session, you will learn from Michael Pope. Nope, way too soon. Okay. You're okay here. If you can, what if, Michael, you change this to, you might be surprised to learn that our guest speaker, ... Then this sentence, growing up in Michael Pope found himself. So it could be you move it down one more sentence.
Okay.
Just one more sentence, because the reception of our listeners makes a big difference. If they hear about us too soon, we think it's about us. And again, we want to really stay focused on them. All right, so you've got good bullet points then. Are you prepared to take your growth journey? Showing us how to. So here's another, thank you, Michael. Another A+. How to is the #1 headline or subheadline, according to MPI, Meeting Professionals International, that studies this for a presentation or a book title or a workbook, whatever. How to is the #1 type of title. So how to implies relevance to that audience, whether it be in person, online, or in print. So how to, it tells us we're going to learn how to achieve lasting success with the epic. All right, so then please help me. Welcome. All right, so Michael is a Canva ambassador. He is an expert. So of course, extra credit on this, that he that he took this introduction and put it into a dynamic piece that could be mailed out for someone. So I love that it has your photo on it. Everything is done as his branding colors. You know, feel free to go to his websites and take a look at how congruent and consistent that he is in all of his marketing pieces. So this is great. And then the only thing that I would make certain of is, because the question is up here and then it says introduction here, I would make sure when I gave it to the introducer, start with the question.
Makes sense. Yep.
Start with the question. Or what if you put the speech title up in the balloon and that you started with the question here instead? Maybe just switch those two so that there's no question in. We don't always get to have a pre-conversation with the person who introduces us. Sometimes it happens. We do not get to. So I like how well that it's prepared on this. So then go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So if when I give this to them though, would I just give them just a black and white version that they could easily print out?
Yes.
That has like the spacing in it, like you mentioned before?
I would. I would, because it's got to be so easy for them. And as much as I love your light purple in the background, if they have any color blindness, because purple is a combination of several different colors right there, they may have trouble. I would say go ahead and email it in advance, email the black and white for them. And it could even be that it's a Word document. So in case they want to do their own notes, I figure we need to be easy to work with.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like. So then I asked Michael to send me the current version of, and here is that one sheet that y'all were asking about. What's a one sheet look like? There's 3 questions up at the top. This is why we do what we do. Well done, Michael. 3 questions up at the top. Again, it's a perfect parallel between speaking and marketing. How do you speak and market like a pro? Boom, there it is. 3 questions up at the top. And then the soft close of master the art of being a doer. And then what's the benefit? Unlock your team's potential for what? For increased productivity. People are looking for what's in it for us. Why should I hire you? And again, what are the problems that you're solving? So now you see how all of this starts coming together and your audience will learn. So this is a one sheet. It's a single-sided, one side, one page, one sheet, however that the meeting planners want to refer to it as, because it indicates that this is for the meeting planner. This is what your audience will learn, these things. So Dr. J, this is why we want to put a number inside of the bullet points. So he has 4 strategies. That's why you want to do your 10 power habits. Anytime that we can add numbers into the bullet pointed list, people love that. How many techniques for maintaining motivation and focus? It could be 3.5, whatever that it is. All right. So then in this dynamic and interactive, people want to know that we're interactive. Great. We need to be. And then who is the target audience? And it has a photo of it. Does this actually click through with the video? Or
Yes,
I
it
don't.
should.
It does? Okay. I'm not going to do it now, but oh my gosh. Michael, I would not assume to distribute this on your behalf. If you would like to share it with our class, go ahead and pop it into the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you
All
for your
right.
feedback.
You're so welcome. And then again, so on a one sheet, then there's 3 stages of how we market, which translates to what we're talking about here for the introduction. Is that there needs to be, what are the questions, which is the immediate relevance, what's in it for me, the confirmation, helping to confirm, which are the 3 bullet points, and then the call to action down here is the 3rd stage. And so even in a speaker one sheet, just like it is in a speaker introduction, they all need to be happening in that order. So Michael, thank you for sharing your materials with us. And if you have any questions regarding Canva, he is by far the best trainer I've ever seen. So,
oh, thank you.
It's true. It's true. Thank you very much, Michael. All right. So then that brings us to what are the speaking topics and categories. So I've added this and a special page into your handout for you. What are some of the hot topics? What are some of the current or called evergreen topics? Well, this is out of the 10 things, the 10 must-haves that speakers must have in the speaking industry. So as I pull this up, feel free to capture a screenshot now. I recently did extensive research from several different sources, including meeting planners and people who hire us as speakers and trainers to find out what are the top topics that people are looking to hire us for. So I put it into alphabetical order. And what I'd encourage you to do is to see where your topics fall under these particular topic categories. Because if you're not quite naming it in your marketing materials, you might not be hired as quickly and for as much as a person who is using them. All right, so you find yourself now, if you're selecting motivation, consider adding something else to it, because motivation as its own topic, it needs to have some substance. And why, again, people are paying us for solutions. I would hope that our style is always motivational. That's what I would always hope for. All right. So great. Captured that. Great. All right. So refer to it, because on the final page inside of your handout for tonight, I've added this for you to help pull it all together. You've now seen an example of the bio, the speaker introduction, the speaker one sheet. Well, how do you start creating that? Well, to be a superior speaker, then you need to have your area of expertise. So on this worksheet, and here's how I recommend using it, is to print out as many copies as you need and grab a pen or pencil, no kidding, and actually start filling this out by hand. You can take it to the computer later, but what you want to do is to get the information out of your head and focus on one topic at a time only. So if you, like Christine, wear many hats, or like Tiffany, have 3 different titles of presentations, then do one of these worksheets for each of those presentations. That's why it's a presentation worksheet. So for instance, I'll walk you through this. The main topic on which you are knowledgeable, experienced, or a subject matter expert. So for instance, Shamila is a productivity expert, as is Dr. J. And how do you fundraise? Because you've made a lot of money, Dr. J, for all of the industries that you've worked with and people who are who really need to have microfinancing. So you've done all of that. So then name one. So the main topic. Then what is that presentation title? Put the title of the presentation on there and consider putting a how-to as a subtitle for that presentation. I mean, that would be great. So only one worksheet per presentation. Then become your audience, become your meeting planner. What are the audience pains, their key problems, issues, challenges that you can solve with this topic or this exact presentation? Start doing the bullet points. Fill up every single one of those bullet points. You may or may not use all of them in your marketing materials, but this is an idea generator. for, again, that one presentation. Then what are the benefits? What are the takeaways to the audience as a result of attending your particular session? They're looking for, and the meeting planners are looking for, a return on investment. If they are paying us fees that have a lovely comma in them, US dollar, then what are my people going to get as a result of that? Because that's how they kind of weigh out whether we were worth it or not, based on the problems that we solve. So what are the benefits? And that's why I was asking Joe, okay, so you're speaking for 3 hours. What are the 5 benefits? Because then the meeting planner can justify 3 hours on a program. That's a chunk of time. We have to deliver the value in any presentation. The longer, the more value we need to deliver. Then who are your ideal audiences, as in industries, businesses? Is it entrepreneurs? Is it small business owners? Is it people who need to have more creativity and more art in their life? Who are they? Get into their heads, become them. And then make a few notes of who are the ideal audiences. So it could be general ideas if you're starting. I would get specific as soon as you can with who are the ideal audiences. As in, if you've identified small business owners, what type of business owners? So for instance, I have a workshop coming up specifically for crafters. It is a small business workshop, marketing workshop, that they're going to be providing me samples of their materials, and I give them feedback on how to boost the response that they're getting, especially heading into the holidays for all of the holiday craft shows. That is very specific. So I would name crafters. I would name woodworkers, stamping, whatever. I would go through. And then if I could, name organizations that need to be invited to that particular workshop. And finally, then, what formats is this presentation available in? And we may think keynote. Well, it could be a breakout session, though, at a conference. It could be workshops. It could be virtual course. It could be video courses. So then do one of these worksheets for every presentation that you are doing. So let's pull it all together. All right. So now we have our bio, our speaker introduction. We even have a 1 sheet thrown in there, right? So now we know where we're going with this. So let me show you how this might work in real world. A sample demonstration using one of my own. This is an actual promotional write-up for a presentation that I recently gave for a district. It opens, same thing, with that bold italic statement, and then it follows the same format that we're talking about this. It has a little bit more lengthy bio here. Well, it's only 1 paragraph, but anyway, you get the idea. So that's a promotional write-up. I always provide something. I do not even begin to assume that someone knows me well enough to do a promotional write-up. All right. Here's the speaker introduction script. This is exactly what it looks like. I'm showing you the Word doc, and I'm holding a copy of it here, because what I'm going to do is to read this as it plays out, pulling this all together. So you'll see my yellow highlighting codes, that the codes are the notes for the introducer, including pause, pick up the pace now. All right. So then that really helps them. Then I've also indicated with the green highlight of when there will be a slide that has that text on. Otherwise, you want your introducer to read the script, not try and just stay with what your slides look like. So here's what this looks like. This is the title of the presentation. Yes, I did just give this, and it was a full 75 or 90-minute session. All right, specific and tailored to, again, the people who attend. All right, so this would be the title slide that comes up. Here's how the introduction might read. So what you just saw, pulling it all together. Now that you've set your heart's desire to be paid for your speaking, or have a book or product to promote along with your speaking, it's time to get the word out with your marketing and be hired. Get ready for ideas that you can use right away. In this master class, you will discover, see how everything comes up? You will discover 7 significant elements meeting planners need in your marketing, view design samples, and gain tips you can use immediately, and learn how to use a marketing model and template model for creating your one sheets. Because she provides such brilliant content and passion, this is her 7th session for us in less than 1 year. Meet Sheryl Roush, CEO of Sparkle Presentations, originally from San Diego and now based in New York. She started her first advertising business at age 16 and has owned 5 award-winning graphic design studios. For us, generously sharing over 45 years of experience in marketing and graphic design, and is a 5-time author on this topic. Her Solid Gold newsletter design, originally published for Toastmasters, became a marketing course book at the University of Ottawa, Canada. Okay, so you see how all of this is coming together. It is giving my credibility without me needing to say it during my session. Adding to that, over 35 years as a professional speaker and speaking coach. Both the Los Angeles and San Diego chapters of the National Speakers Association awarded Sheryl their Member of the Year. Some of her clients include Intuit, Mensa, Olympians, Southwest Airlines, UCLA, and UC Berkeley. A professional credential goal for many of us, Sheryl is the youngest woman to have earned the Toastmasters Accredited Speaker designation. A 17-time author, her Heart of a Toastmaster book showcasing true stories by 135 members received the Best Anthology Award from the International Book Awards, showing us how to design effective speaker one-sheets. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sheryl Roush. So that's how it all comes together. Whew. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. So what, what ideas do you have? Let's go into the gallery here. And what questions might you have? Oh, thank you very much for the hearts. Thank you. We have a few minutes for additional questions. So let's go ahead and open that up. Oh, thank you. Yes, Nora Lee, thank you. I see your hand. Go ahead.
Yes. So do you make the slides go forward, or does the introducer do that? How does that work?
I do. I follow the introducer. So for instance, because I don't release my slides, I'm operating from my own laptop or remote if I'm in the room. I advance that. Always, always, it comes back to us. Think about it for a second, Norlie, because people could be really nervous about speaking, even if they get to stand at a lectern and they're introducing somebody. They can't even remember their own name,
Right.
let alone, wait, I'm supposed to advance, do what? Yeah. So I would say that it's back to us. I do. I would say that it's back to, great question though. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So raise a hand. Let's see. Thank you. All right, Kimberly. Hi, welcome.
Hello. Great
Hello.
presentation. Loved it. One of the things you just said is you do not release your presentation. Let me tell you, I just did a keynote at an organization and they wanted my slides a month in advance. That was so challenging for me. And I want to say no. How do you manage that question, or how do you get around that?
I say, I do not release my slides. Thank you for asking. Is there something particular that you were inquiring about? Would you like to see an overview of the presentation? I might be willing to do that. However, Kimberly, we work very hard to create our original material. Plus, I don't know about you, but for this is a first time presentation, what you saw tonight that was delivered in however long that it was. This was easily 50 hours of work, plus reviewing each of your bios and intros that were sent. 50 hours went into this slide deck.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. This becomes our intellectual property. Absolutely. There's no way that we should release it. And so there was a district that I'm getting ready to speak for, and they said, please provide us a copy of the slide deck as a backup. And I said, no, thank you. I will provide my own backup. I do not release my slide decks. That was the end of the conversation.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I gave them a few slides the month in advance, and then a day before I gave them the slides. But that's something I'm challenged with. I'm an inspired speaker, and things change a little bit.
Well, and you could say that. You could say that. I'm unable to provide you the slide deck at this time, as I am still tailoring my message for your group. which
Yes.
for me is true because my slides will change because I was expecting something from Michael and from Joe Grondin. And, you know, my slides changed just 15 minutes before I came on tonight. So good question. Thank you. There's a whole nother topic on that. Mary Ann, thank you. Go ahead.
To tag on to the last question, do you ever copyright your material? I have material that's copyrighted in the Library of Congress. What do you think of that?
Yes, copyright your materials, whether it's a poor man's copyright, because anytime that you date something, you'll notice that this slide deck was also copyrighted. My major works are also on file with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and the Library of Congress. So yes, if it's worth saving, it's worth protecting. Good question on that. That's a whole nother topic. Anything related to bios and speaker introductions for tonight? Diane, were you okay?
I create a summary deck based upon the objectives. So they get 3 to 5 slides that might have a little icon or something for each of the objectives identified. So they're happy with the reminder, and it also helps them find my name when they want to call me again.
Well, this is
So
great.
it's a
So then,
sneaky
Diane, I would
little-
hope that you would put your copyright circle, the year and all of that down at the bottom of each
Yes,
of those
ma'am.
slides, because if
Yes,
it's ever
ma'am.
taken apart, which it can be,
I've
and
had
never
my
give,
slides used by
never
another
give,
speaker.
right, never give the deck, provide a PDF only. Okay, good.
Yep.
We have time for like one more question. All right, one more question. One more question, anyone?
I have
Yes. Oh, sorry. Tiffany, I'll come right back. Vella, I saw yours. Hello, welcome. Tiffany, I'll come right back to you.
My question is, if we have a book or a product to sell, do we add that there, or how do we infuse it into the conversation?
Do you add it? Did you add it into the? I would definitely put it into the bio. I would definitely put it. And you have 3 books, am I correct? Did you? You have 1 book. Okay. All right. Then, all right. So I would put that into the bio. You saw me do it. Just put it into an actual introduction. I would say yes. But don't go overboard, and you can buy it on Amazon, Nook, nuh-uh. Not sales pitch. Mention for credibility, yes. I would definitely do that. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, Tiffany, let me go back to you. Where'd you go?
I was just asking her question from the chat, so I'm done.
Oh, okay. Shamila, you have your hand up, and then I'm going to return it to our Toastmaster of the day. Shamila, go ahead.
How can we explain? Yes. How can we explain the organization that there is a difference between my bio and what the speaker introduction?
Thank you. Provide them as different documents in the same email with instructions. Here is the biography for your promotional efforts. Here is the actual speaker introduction to be read while introducing me for my presentation. For me, I include my bio in the promotional write-up. Everything's right there. So I showed you an example of that. I include it together so that I'm helping them market their event. So I include it. Sometimes they want a different document on that. I will gladly provide a longer biography. Otherwise, it's a shorter biography in what the promotional write-up is. Provide it to them and let them know this. We have to teach people how to do this. Otherwise they will read the bio right out of the conference thing that doesn't have the title of the presentation, what the benefits are. We need to do it for them. So be the professional that you are. With that, it's been my privilege to bring you this information. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster, immediate past District Director, District 47, Lois. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, this was fabulous. Okay, turn on your screens. Please give a lot of hearts for Sheryl Roush because she was incredible. Throw those hearts up on the screen. Let her know how much you love her. Karen, I hope you have time, Sheryl, to look at the chat because it's just one positive comment after another. Thank you to Joe. I remember you came and visited District 47 a couple of years ago online. I was so happy to see you here. I think you're amazing. Thank you, Sheryl, again, for all that you have presented. There were so many amazing golden nuggets. I'm glad that we had this session. And again, Accredited Speaker Roush, you're amazing. Thank you for all that you do. That
My
is
pleasure.
concludes my role as your Toastmaster of the day. Let's welcome our amazing president, Christine Campbell.
This was fabulous. Every word that she spoke, we learned as we listened. And now we get to apply. I cannot wait to go back to those speaker sheets and pick one hat so that I can be focused. So I think we all learned from that. Excellent, excellent. What I want to do is through this meeting, thank you so very much. I believe you see the value of what Superior Speakers Advanced is doing, but we've had 5 application requests. Thank you. This is going places. What we're doing with Superior Speakers is once a week, we are actually practicing for that accredited speaker, how to become a paid speaker. And this workshop tonight, we have it the last Wednesday. We meet Wednesday evenings at 6:45 Eastern time, but we always, the last Wednesday will be a different accredited speaker. Sheryl gets to pick them for us, but we are going to be well endowed with the knowledge we need to be successful. Each one of you have that incredible voice and passion. I can see it in your eyes that you need to be out there talking about, and credits and our Superior Speakers Advance, we are here to support. I have 45 years of marketing promotions, and my goal is to have the speakers be heard. And that's what this is all about. I'm so stoked. We just launched in March, but we are going and going strong. So thank you again. I want to say thank you all. For those that do want more applications, you can sign right up in that chat and we will be talking with you. I want to say a big shout out to our chat monitors. They were amazing. And that was Tiffany Edith and Carlene McFarlane. And our Zoom master was Ricardo Parsons, who was also our Sergeant at Arms. Many people make a difference behind the scenes. They're quiet, but they're profound. We couldn't be doing this without them. And again, thank you, Sheryl. We love you. We are appreciative of you. And yes, we can't wait to have the next speech and training from you. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great night. Be changing those speaker sheets. I know you got to. I'm going to.
I love it. Thank you again for attending. Thank you, Superior Speakers. Thank you.
Bye.
Awesome job.
Save the chat.
So great.
We're going to send the recordings to each of you that registered.
I'll stop the recording now.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Bye, Christine. Bye, Ricardo. Bye,
Joe,
Lois.
great to see you.